to episode 28 of Mind Control Show. They're here to entertain you tonight with local and world news and everything else.
Everything else.
Your host of tonight's show, the greatest ever, Eddie, and the greatest ever, Jeremiah.
Thought it was going to win this time. Welcome to an action-packed episode 28. We've started the show off with a werewolf joining us on the Spreecast.
Very odd.
We've got Austin Hippie joining us in the back on Skype. This is highly out of control.
You know what else is out of control, Jared and Keith?
I don't know.
The economy is out of control.
Hey, I wonder how involved in local national economy budget talks, how much do werewolves care about that?
Probably whenever they're not werewolves, they care about it.
Interesting.
But whenever they become werewolves, all they care about is blood.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like the way your mind works.
Yeah. So, the stock market today dropped several points, pissing off everybody in America.
Me being one of them who owns two stocks.
Wow, you're a big spender. What stocks do you own, Jared? Let's get some stock advice here.
I own NetApp.
Uh-huh.
And I own Physical Gold. And neither...
own Pod Computing.
Tell me that again?
You buy stocks in Pod Computing.
Pod Computing?
Basically what the deal is like all these people like these new websites and apps don't have the server space. So you set up a building, put a bunch of like server racks in it. You essentially rent virtual space to people inside that. So when you buy stock in Pod Computing, you're basically buying stock in a company that has a building full of server racks.
You know, apps are definitely the future, right?
Yeah, it's totally like the future, man. People are going to stop having server racks. It's all going to be, everything's going to be virtual. Nobody's going to have a real office in the future.
So
it's a good investment right now.
So is that like the cloud computing type stuff?
Sort of like that.
Yeah.
But no more like larger, grander, like, like commercial scale, I guess, or corporate scale.
Okay. Hopefully that data is secure.
This thing's refusing.
What is that?
Speaker.
For Keith?
Yeah. It's not working.
Oh. Just give you my control gold, bro.
Okay.
So even though technology seems to be the hot new property, Yahoo's cutting 2,000 jobs, T-Mobile's cutting 1,900 jobs, and Sony's cutting 10,000 jobs. So,
but how are the werewolves affected?
Get off the werewolf, Jerry. Get off the werewolf.
But I'm so mesmerized. He's just staring at us. Oh.
Sony makes the PlayStation 3. Maybe if they don't make enough money, there's not going to be a PlayStation 4.
Maybe they're...
PlayStation 9. Do y'all remember those commercials? It was like, I think when PlayStation 3 came out, yeah, like the PlayStation 9, it was like an orb that had some lights come out of it, flooded your brain.
What the?
Control grid.
I'm looking forward. How are they able to do that if they're not going to be around in 5 years?
I don't know. I saw a commercial from the future. Right, they're supposed to be advertising PlayStation 3, but like the time machine ended up when they showed the PlayStation 9.
Well,
I remember that commercial.
And what were the werewolves doing?
Probably playing PlayStation 1.
Yeah, they're playing PlayStation 1. There it is. Have their PSPs.
So here's my question. Why were so many people hired if they're going to make all these drastic cuts?
Yeah, I think they were doing well at one point, and now they're not doing well, so they have to cut these jobs and streamline and become more nimble.
Would you call that unethical?
Why is it unethical?
That's what I'm asking. I don't know. We report on these jobs lost, like these people are doing something wrong or they suck because they're cutting.
Out there they fire people when their business is
right. Yeah, they're ending.
Maybe them less than they used to. That's more ethical.
Well, I think the people that run the business are obviously inept because they're having to cut jobs and they're not creating revenue.
Whatever, man.
Exactly. That's when I see T-Mobile, Yahoo, and who else had to cut? And Sony had to cut all these jobs. It tells me obviously these people don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, Sony's losing a lot of space to Samsung and to Apple.
Instead of cutting all the jobs at the bottom, let's start cutting some of those jobs at the top, maybe.
Well, they both went through restructuring, Yahoo and Sony, and this is part of the restructuring. Trying to get
But I bet those people at the top are still getting paid the same, if not more, than what they were making a couple years ago, and the company's not.
Who's going to want to work for a shitty company, so you have to pay them, a couple million more than the going rate?
Ooh, that's hot.
But don't worry, everybody. Paul Ryan has his new budget that he proposed and the House passed last week.
Does it involve werewolf pensions?
There's no pensions for werewolves. They're not considered American citizens, unfortunately.
Yeah, they're a little dirty.
Yeah.
We let all the Italians over back in the day.
Oh, isn't that the modern day equivalent to the werewolf? The Italian?
That's all I'm saying.
So Obama is, of course, attacking this new budget, saying that it just gets rid of Medicaid, cuts entitlements, and cuts tax rates for the rich. And
healthcare is jacked up right now, man. I went to the dermatologist today.
Uh-oh.
$300 for him to look at my hand in 5 minutes.
What'd they tell you it was?
He said, "Oh, it's dermatitis. You have an allergic reaction with some ointment that you're gonna pay $50 for."
Did he tell you to stop?
Thank you, American healthcare.
Did he tell you to stop jerking off and finishing into your hand?
It wasn't my hair cans, no one's concerned.
It's too bad nobody but Eddie and I can see werewolf muscles right now, but
No, I can see it too. I can mess with my eyes.
our resident werewolf here in the Spreecast is flexing. Hold up. I just bought a weight set last week. Don't try to pump on me. Look at this shit.
Here we go.
Look at this shit. I'm just getting back into it.
It's a pose down here, live on Mind Control.
Bam. I don't even have a werewolf face. Did we lose somebody?
No, I think he's giving us double vision.
It's double vision. So, I'm sorry, I interrupted your Paul Ryan.
Yeah, so you think Obama is justified in attacking this Republican's budget? Or do you think it's more rhetoric on both sides?
I think it's all rhetoric. I think the bill itself is rhetoric.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of wabbity babbity. And so is Obama. If we wanted to make some real cuts, we'd have to make a lot more money cuts than what they're doing.
Yeah.
So what is the bill proposed exactly? I didn't really listen to you.
Obama accuses it of cutting Medicare spending, cutting entitlements, cutting tax rates on the rich, and raising taxes on the poor.
That's the theme of it. They're saying they want to cut the tax rates of the wealthiest,
right,
while at the same time getting rid of entitlements, and hurting the poor.
No. And I remember Obama like 4 years ago was talking about how he thinks we need to tax the rich and lower the tax rates for the middle and lower class. So he wouldn't do that.
There's a big traffic jam in Congress right now.
The werewolf has typed in the chat to let us know that he has a huge penis. But how is he so clean shaven? He must have shaved right before he turned the camera on.
Yeah.
'Cause everything from the neck down is pretty well shaved.
He might be like 14 years old.
I think he is. I think we're staring at illegal male breasts.
Should we expel this werewolf from the chat room?
No way.
Okay.
No, for what?
He has free reign.
He's the greatest part of the show so far. I think we're getting a little long in the tooth.
So Paul Ryan is also being considered for Mitt Romney's VP pick.
Birthdays.
Do you think Paul Ryan will be a good pick for Romney as VP? Would that give him some votes?
I haven't heard that talk. As a matter of fact, I haven't heard Paul Ryan's name before today.
Oh yeah.
He's
been campaigning with Romney.
Paul Ryan?
Yeah.
Is he related to Jack Ryan from all those Harrison Ford movies in the 90s?
He may be.
Is he? So, the Clear and Present Danger guy.
The Clear and Present Danger, I think that's him. He's the guy that Clear and Present Danger was made about.
Yeah.
Where the guy says, "Get off my plane."
That was definitely Paul Ryan.
His mother instead of my mother in presidential plane.
I don't think that's the right movie.
Not a bad Harrison Ford, by the way.
I thought it was Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh.
So, are we going to vote for Romney Ryan 2012?
Well, I'm not, certainly, but White America is going to. And White America is going to bring a clean slate back to the White House, if you know what I mean.
A pure state back to the White House?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's just say we'll cleanse
Don't do it. Okay.
We'll
This precast is going to jump the chat here in a few. Jump the shark.
Oh,
here
are you afraid
seconds.
of? Are you afraid of some full frontal getting us kicked off?
But I think he would be the one held responsible, not us. I think it'd be okay.
What do you mean held responsible? Who would be holding that?
It's precast.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Too hot for street minutes.
Hey Keith, did you hear about Keith Olbermann getting kicked off of Current TV?
Man, he gets kicked off every channel he's on.
Hey, save it.
Like
Save it for the next segment, Keith.
Whoa,
Save it for the next segment.
Keith, just try to hold it for 2 seconds. Wait.